Welcome again to Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode 142. Let's go with that. It's recorded on March 15th, 2014. I'm your host, Apple Cider. Hey, guys. Hey, you're not Sandy. You're not Sandy either. There's no.
I can't be. I don't really do a good Sandy voice.
Even though he's in the chat doing pings. Because he's got to be all, like, web famous with his, like, I got to donate stuff to kids.
Oh.
Being all like that. Yay. So yeah, I've got Silver Eagle PVL Ponyville Live. He's here. Hey, sir.
Hey.
How you?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandy says add him. Ooh.
Oh,
we do have a Sandy.
You just got de-co-hosted.
Sandified.
All right. Sandy. Add Sandy to the call. Add Sandy to the call.
There he is.
There we go.
A wild Sandy appears.
I know.
It's Sandy.
You're telling me like I can't make the show, and then like you make the show.
Well,
I think he's trying to make himself more popular. Look, Sandy saved the day by showing up.
Well, actually, so we were supposed to go out to CARE today, which is the Center for Animal Research and Education out in Bridgeport, Texas. It's an outdoor big cat sanctuary, and we're supposed to have a barbecue, which is outdoors. Can you guess what's happening today?
Big nasty thunderstorm.
Correct. So it got canceled kind of last second. So, hey kids.
Hey, Sandy's here.
Yay.
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 How are you, Sandy, sir?
All of Texas.
Pretty good, actually. Things are going just as planned.
Are they? Because it sounds like plans have changed rapidly in the past 25 hours.
Okay. Nightmare Night's plans are going just as. Other people's, not so much.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
This has been the week of, you didn't know this happened, but... prepare. All right, well, cool. Sandy's with us. We also have Silver Eagle Feather Props here as well.
Hello.
So, we got a full house. I don't know if the Bobbles will be showing up to the Bob around. He's supposed in the call, but we'll figure it out. All right, now I got to add in stuff. Now I've got to, like, put in Sandy's name for the stuff. Well, we don't have to add you to the favorite character, though. I'm so happy you're here, Sandy, because I can actually... I didn't want to reveal that there is a big monumental change in my... We don't normally do our own favorite characters because they're usually so quite solid until one person betrayed their waifu ages back. I'm afraid there may be a second dose of that with myself. I know. And I shall reveal... It will be... equal to the LeBron James The Decision, where we tease it most of the show and then immediately disappoint you.
Oh, man.
So, wow. But yes, I do have to inform you that there is now a change, or that there may be one for me. So, let's go ahead and move forward. Since we got these two goobers on, let's go ahead and cover them. Feather Prop's been on recently, but let's just double check with Silver Eagle. What's your favorite character?
Oh, let's see. What's my favorite character?
You wrote down my butt.
I did write down your butt. Let's see.
He's referencing because the Justin TV has a picture of me where I am showing some rump.
Yeah, the stream overlay is like Apple Cider's good side, and then like Sandy facing forward on the other side. It's kind of like, what? He keeps like grabbing at himself on the stream.
Myself.
Oh my. Stop playing with yourself.
No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I don't know. You know, I would have said Luna, but where's she been lately?
Protecting your dreams.
Well,
she's not doing a great job.
Wasn't that season 3 that she was dream walking?
She's coming back. I believe there's an episode soon which involves her.
There needs to be. She's one of the fan favorites.
Let's see. Got to bring up FemWiki to double check on that. Which, unfortunately, when I start typing, my brain immediately goes, Fem fiction. Nope, back.
Yeah, my Google does that too. Yeah.
This is what you meant. You want to go? You want to read more fics about cheese sandwich, don't you? Oh, you knew it.
Little Ribbon says Luna's in the next episode.
Oh, well, there you go.
What?
Oh, that's right. For whom the sweetie bell tolls.
These episodes.
Sweetie Belle's gonna die. Is that what it means?
This sounds like Sweetie Belle's gonna die. Is what it sounds like.
Luna has to lead Sweetie Belle through the land of the dead.
Oh, wow.
Dark
We'll
turns.
see Cerberus again.
Yeah, really.
What?
We'll see Cerberus again.
Oh, Cerberus. Yeah.
But let's see. So, Luna, favorite episode?
Favorite episode?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's only been like a billion of them now. It was so simple when there was like 3.
What's one that I watched that's all right? Hold on. Definitely the Breezies episode.
That was really good.
No, I'm kidding.
I liked it. But I like a lot of
I was
episodes.
all right. I was all right with the Breezies episode. I was, what was the one? Oh, jeez, I'm like totally remember. All right.
Explain it to us, sir.
Well, hold on. No, I just typed in season 4 episode list, expecting that it would pull up My Little Pony season 4. I expect Google to be creepy enough to know that I'm always searching.
Well,
for
I just posted the FemWiki
Okay.
episode guide in the chat, so there you go.
Let's see, which one do I like? You know, I liked Rarity Takes Manhattan.
Did you?
Good
I
one.
really liked Rarity Takes Manhattan. You know, it's one of my new favorites. Philly Vanilli, also one of my new favorites. That song is so catchy. Season 4's had a lot of classics in it. I'm pretty happy with it so far, on average.
Season 4's had a lot of good in it. It's not it's not been like last season where it was 13 episodes of
Yeah, and then it got cut so short
Yeah.
that it didn't have a chance to redeem itself, really. Yeah. No, this one's done very well.
All right, Feather, updates on you?
Same favorite character, and I was feeling rather old school today, so I said over a barrel.
Did you?
It's all about the Pinkie Pie and the saloon girl dress, isn't it?
It was the pie fight for me. I love the pie fight.
That was a good way to do a shootout and not make it be like, bring out the guns. Even though,
You're
like,
right.
past then, they've done, like, actual battles and stuff. Like, haven't seen the pie fights anymore.
I miss the pie fights.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's move forward here a little bit. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got the listing here for this. The listing, I just noticed I have last episodes up, but it has a listing of February we survived. I believe the topic should be March is the new February.
March is the new February in so many ways. It really is.
So let's go ahead and move forward. Sponsors, Sandy, who's our usual sponsor?
We love fun. The fine folks over there have all sorts of fandom nonsense up to and including a pretty cool Animu-looking future Twilight vinyl figure based on the shirt design, which was also just added. Let's see. Who did do this one? Trying to find the artist's name, and their website is always so slow. And it doesn't actually say. Okie dokie. So it's a cool, very anime-looking shirt, and the figurine is kind of cool, too. Hey, guess what, kids? We now have niche people, or we have marketers making statuettes for our niche audience. Soon.
Pandering is number
Yes. Well, I mean, we've already got things like Dakamakura's wall scrolls and pillowcases. It's only a matter of time.
one. Are the Dakimakuras official?
No.
Okay, I was
Oh,
gonna say,
God,
like,
no.
Oh, no.
Do they have like a Hasbro license? I was gonna say, that's what, when you said we already have those, like, have those, like, officially?
No, we're
Well,
just...
now
The
we
Pony
know
World
what to get him for Christmas.
Those
Oh my.
Licensed Dakimakura.
But though, yeah, then we're gonna see that they're gonna notice that there's a huge market in it, and you're just gonna go into Target and go like, I don't think I'm okay with this. Huh.
Pillows section.
Actually, I was at, I think, a Walmart the other day, and they now have kid body pillows. They're just body pillows that have licensed characters on them. They're not like
Laying out sprawled.
Not laying out sprawled, but they have the characters that are just like, it's only a matter of time. Oh my goodness.
We're gonna get official. If that's a thing now, then we're definitely. If that's like a trend,
Yeah, it'll just be Twilight sleeping, and then,
Yeah,
it'll be all over.
It's gonna be a real thing if one day they just go, all right, what if we just made a queen size of our normal like children's bedding prints? Like, let's just try that. All of a sudden, there's just a bunch of dudes going through Target with just an armful of this stuff. Like, I'm getting this for my niece who has a queen size bed. Right? Okay.
she's extremely obese. Don't worry about it.
She's.
My niece has to be forklifted out of her room. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
There's an A&E special on her. It's
our coupon code Bronyville 10. Save yourself a little bit of money on shipping.
And not on a Damakura, at least
I
yet.
wish I could save money on shipping. Oh, shipping always costs me so much.
Yes,
you mean
but that's
packaging.
just self-respect.
You mean packaging, not okay.
See, I really like the Future Twilight, but I don't know how much it costs total shipping.
Oh, you mean the statuette Future Twilight?
Yeah.
I was reading it, and it almost seemed like it was just one of these things of like, promote us, and we'll send you one.
Well, it's gonna be the same size as like the derpy one they have, and their derpy one's really cute and it's decently made, surprisingly solid given its size. It's
That is cool.
Snuggle
I just
Bubble
thought that-
Muffin by Sajira.
It
I
I
says
just
not
thought the
derpy.
pose on it was so odd, though.
It's
a
very anthro.
mix between. Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of a mix between anthro and still being non-anthro. Like they couldn't decide which way they wanted to go.
It does seem kind of anthro, doesn't it? It's like it's hoofy anthro. Like that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like a
Like,
hoofy.
I have to go check
like
my 4chan
the-
scale. Hold on.
The satanic god that made us anthro didn't decide to give us hands, that asshole.
What have you done?
Why?
My body is more shapely, but I cannot hold things. Ah.
So it turns out shipping on that. Well, hold on. Shipping and handling is only $2.50 for that. Future Twilight vinyl figure. I expected it to be way more than that.
Bronyville 10 coupon code makes it
Bronyville
Less.
10,
$25 shipped.
$25 shipped total.
Well, I guess I'll buy that then.
Oh,
That's
darn.
That's pretty doable. Yeah, no, that's budget friendly right there.
And speaking of being budget friendly, BabsCon Bronyville 10 will get you 10% off any ticket. We'll all be there, as well as every person on the planet, it sounds like.
Yep.
Let us not forget. Yes, they just signed Ashley Ball, which means that they have all of the main six, every character.
Oh my god.
All going to be there. They are. This we actually talked about pre-show. It's like this is the first time that that a convention actually has every single one of the main voice actresses there.
I think that's true.
Because
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Ashley Ball was the hardest one to get for the longest time. So
Yeah, because she was like bolted onto her band. Like you'd have to like get the whole band, and the band was a package deal. Right?
Yep.
Ridiculous.
And just to we can also plug a little bit. So yeah, Bronyville 10 gets you 10% off. We're all going to be doing a ton of stuff there. Sandy is going to be shadowing particular guests. You're going to be guest liaison, all sorts of crazy.
Yep.
Well, that just means, Silver, that you know who you need to harass. That's you're going to what are your plans over at Babs, Silver?
My plans?
Yeah. You're going to be there in force with the PVLs, right?
In force. I mean, we're going to be there in microaggressiveness. We're actually sending a bunch of people over. In fact, we've got our head of PVL Europe is flying from London to BabsCon to join us.
Jet lagged as hell.
Yeah, he's going to be all kinds of a mess. Although, funny enough, that entire flight, thanks to the time zones, will take him what would appear to be an hour. He leaves London at noon and gets at San Francisco at 1 p.m.
Is the return flight where he loses like a day and a half?
The return flight, yeah, exactly. He loses literally a whole day. He leaves like Tuesday afternoon and then gets back Wednesday morning. It's like, oh, dude. So, yeah. No, we've got a ton of people. We're going to be recording the whole shabazzle and maybe streaming some parts of it, depending. We'll see. Yeah. Gross. We're going to have interviews with all the, with as many of the guests as they have time for. And, we'll be doing a whole bunch of cool convention-y stuff.
You'll probably end up seeing me doing a bunch of stuff. I am doing a lot of panels this year, so you will catch me taking care of those. There's 3 that we have set for BabsCon. The first being the tabletop special. So we will be doing the tabletop live with all you guys. We will be bringing... I have talked to the convention staff, so I must say this. You cannot bring drinks, so there will not be any drinks brought except for those I will use myself, including the 10-gallon keg of cider I'm bringing. So this is simply for personal use, as well as all these cups I'm bringing as well. So just so you know, it's just for my use. All of this, these 5 to 10 gallons of homemade cider I've got. So, and we're also tabletopping with Pixel Kitties and maybe another guest. We'll have to double check on their schedule. But yeah, we will be doing that. I will also be doing a panel with Rommel and someone else, and we will be doing a what I am lovingly calling a headcanon panel, where we are going to go in and talk about all of your hypotheses and ideas and pretty much stating if that is good enough to be canon or not. Do you believe that Vinyl Scratch is secretly Shining Armor's sister? All right, Long Lost Sister makes sense. Sure, whatever, that's fine. Add it to the canon. We will be the judge for you.
What's going to be in some of those? You sound like you're going to be drinking a lot of cider for that and doing a lot of laughing.
Hey, listen, if I can get M.A. Larson on that would make that perfect, because he'll just sit there and go like, sure, fine, I put wings on one of them, so I don't care.
I put wings on one of them. That would be hilarious if that was his headcanon thing. It's just like, you guys know snails?
Yeah.
Wings.
Whatever, sure.
Wings.
I got a coin here. I'm going to flip it. Trixie, no wings. Ha, I gotcha. Meanwhile, Seth in the back going, oh.
No.
Oh. Seth and Pixel Kitties both just maybe next time. And finally, I have just gotten an announcement on this. I actually am going to be hosting one of the interviews. I will be interviewing GM Barrow, writer of the books. So I will be conducting an interview with her, and we'll be talking about the book series that she has done, both the Standard and Equestria Girls, and just covering, how to be rights and all that fun stuff. Oh, she's great. She goes to conventions and cosplays. So that I thought that was really fantastic. It's just like she's so really cool. So yep. So that's BabsCon. That was a huge plug for them. So Bronyville 10 gets you 10% off on that, and that covers our BabsCon plan, so I can remove that off of topic time. And finally, Audio Stratus, it's my crazy thing. Hey guys, guess what? I just submitted something to a law firm, so I'm actually going to have an S-Corp, and this will be an actual corporation with honest-to-God, stock shares and stuff. That wasn't what I was expecting, but okay.
Nope. 1 second, I'm getting a call. It's from Bob.
Is it the Bob? Sandy's got to go take care of things. But yeah, pretty much making an online audio recorder. Got lots of friends helping out. If you want to learn how to help out, or if you are able to assist in any way, be it funding or, be it just being helpful and such, or if you like audio and you like the idea of recording audio really easily online with people, go over to audiostratus.com, do the sign up, or contact me via the email at the bottom of the page if you want to just say hello or do whatever. And yeah, we'll do all the cool stuff to try and make sure that is a quality product. All right, topic time. As we alluded to earlier, March is the new February. What do we mean by that? In the past, everything that seems to have burned down the fandom or has created a giant drama storm came in February. Last episode, we stated that, whew, isn't it great that February's over? And then March showed up. So,
it feels the same.
It does. And I specifically wanted Silver in here because this has been... I tried to get Capper on because Capper was kind of the second point of what happened with this. But he is currently, it is like, I don't know, maybe 2:00 and he's like waist deep in a mound of alcohol. So he's doing a pub crawl at like 2 p.m. So, hey, whatever. That's living it. But so let's go ahead and talk about this because we got two things here: Dark Skies and Animation Celebration that need to be covered. And
rife with potential.
And Sandy is definitely going to be more in tune with the Animation Celebration side. So Silver, what the heck is Dark Skies?
Dark Skies is an epic brony dating RPG simulator.
Ooh.
Oh, now get this, right? This has got like over 4 ponies that you can date with, and really that's the whole premise. Apparently there's some sort of alien spaceship or something else.
Sure.
Well, long story short, what happens with this is people are really dubious about this whole thing. From the beginning, right? Is you see these pictures on this Kickstarter that they've got. And it looks like the pictures are just sort of like somebody who did like an intro to Photoshop class. They just took like the bevels and all the effects that you could put on there, and they made just these screenshots that wouldn't reflect that. There's no way you could make a game that looks like that. And so people start, 4chan especially starts just having a field day with this. They get on this and they say, let's figure out what's really going on. Somebody leaks a conversation from the head of the project, the guy who's running this project, and it's from a few months earlier, and it's him saying, all right, I got this idea for the best prank ever. All right, anybody who knows My Little Pony art or character design or audio or anything else, get with me here. We're going to have the funniest thing ever. And, then the red flags start flying. Like, uh-oh, what's going on? People look into it, more conversations come out. It turns out that Dark Skies is really a project by this group called MDE, and I forget what MDE stands for. But this,
$1 Million Extreme.
$1 Million Extreme, yeah, $1 Million Extreme. This group that is putting this project together, and the founder has said, a couple of various different things. One was that it's just paying rent for now and just keep people believing in it. Another was that they're going to ship the minimal game required to fulfill what Kickstarter would consider a valid thing, like just that it runs, but it does nothing, and it's like 4 screenshots, and then just take the rest of the money and run. And apparently they're doing all of this just for lulz, just to sort of poke fun at the gullibility of the My Little Pony community, and to do something at their expense, to exploit us essentially. This comes out, it gets widespread attention. Immediately the Kickstarter fundraiser loses $1,500 off of it's got about 3,000. Yeah, that's the Kickstarter. Yeah, good. It loses about $3,000 or not. It loses 1,500 out of its 3,000 overnight because two of its $750 backers just vanish into thin air. And this guy comes out, the founder guy comes out with this video, and it's it's the most hilarious video because you see his face like in the bottom fifth of the video, like, and then it's just his wall, right? You know, this is really weird, kind of strange video, but he keeps reiterating, it's like, guys, it's gonna be funny, it's gonna be funny, it's gonna be, you get to have sex with the ponies, it's just gonna be great, it's gonna be funny, you get to have sex with the ponies, and just keeps going on about this. Of course, this raises another big red flag. The Kickstarter's PG-13. And all of this stuff has said that it's like a PG-13 game, and he's over there saying that you're going to have like graphic, gratuitous sex with these ponies. So after this, the artist pulls out Pukey Pony, not exactly the most appetizing name, right? Pukey Pony, but Pukey Pony has done a lot of art that looks really similar to the art involved in this project, and so contributed, some sort of recolored artwork to it, and pulls out, citing all the bad press that it's getting, and then 4chan is able to draw connections between almost every single one of the other people in the community, like on the Kickstarter's list, to this MDE group. Like they're all tied back to that same Lulzy group. So finally, it turns out, the one guy that they couldn't tie, it turns out he didn't even want his name on that list at all. And so now he's freaking out. And anyway, long story short, and it's always hard for me to explain these like stupid, complicated, dramatic things, but it's fraud. It's outright.
It's
a
poison
scam.
and fraud. Yeah, it's
a scam, and you should avoid it like the plague. And anything they do to try to keep it going, and it looks like they've even fakely contributed money into their own Kickstarter just to make it look like it's still afloat. Anything they're doing to that front should just be completely disregarded. This thing has all red flags and no positive thing about it. There's 4chan looks and looks and looks, and they've pulled up domain name records. They've pulled up everything else. They can't find any one redeeming quality of this. There's no build of the game. It's just strictly a scam.
So the basis is to kind of go over a few of the points that are there. Right now, when we first started, when this first came to air, the Kickstarter had somewhere around 4,000 out of its $75,000 goal, or $7,500 goal. Sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, it had about that much. Once the information started going down, it dropped into the 2,000 range. Now it started to creep upwards. It's nearly at $3,000. Of note about Kickstarter, first, if they reach their goal, there isn't any safeguards once something reaches its goal that something is actually going to get made. Like Kickstarter just simply says, hey, you're contributing to the potential for a product, but there's nothing to say that something will actually come out of it. So that's kind of
other stuff can happen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they can't be liable for that. And it's why you should always be extremely careful with funding these things on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, any of those websites.
Yeah, it's the danger on that. So there is the distinct possibility that that there's been the fear that someone could do Kickstarters where they take the money and run. Matter of fact, there was a high profile issue recently where somebody was making. I forget what they were making on Kickstarter, but they stated that it now had cost them so much to actually, like, they had gotten the item created and made, but at this point they were so behind on the shipping of said product that they were going to be like, if you contact me anymore, I am burning the thing.
It's a book.
That was Pictures for Sad Children, the second book for that. The creator of that kind of had a meltdown.
Yeah, he was suffering from some extreme major depression. He mentioned, in his updates that he, was on antidepressants and stuff like that. But he kept going on these paranoid rants, and then at the end of this latest, you can't even really follow it. Like his latest post you can't follow because it's just all non sequiturs. It's all just completely scatterbrained, and it's really sad to look at. But then he's also got this video of him burning these books, and just the caption is "It's over."
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much everybody else who kickstarted it, he told them, and this is some weird circuitous logic. He told them, if you want your book or if you want your money back, get it from one of the other Kickstarter backers. It's like, of course, there's no way of knowing who the other Kickstarter backers are. It's just this. He's got this weird logic, and he said money is a joke and capitalism is a fraud and all this other stuff. And yeah,
he really did go full crazy. And I understand that the ones that were most hurt by it were actually the ones that had contributed the most. Because they were the ones that had the more extended packages and the more extra stuff that they could get, and therefore the shipping was more expensive and it became harder to do those. So they were the ones that actually contributed the most were the ones that got the most against them.
Yeah.
This guy pretty much in one swing ensured that he's just like, all right, your reputation's done. But, he also sounds like he went off the deep end too.
Yeah. I'm more worried about, like, he needs help. Like, he's scamming other people in the process is the sad thing, that he's like pulling people down with him. That's the sad part about all that. But also, like, he seems like he's on the edge.
Yeah.
It looked like he was just going to lose his mind.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to see.
So on the Kickstarter side, there's nothing that can pretty much be done on the Kickstarter. Second thing about Kickstarters, unlike Indiegogo, which will fund you a little bit if you meet particular goals, they have to make the 7,500 to get anything. So right now, I said they're at about 3,000. I have a good feeling that they're not going to get a big boost, and that the Kickstarter itself will actually just end up failing and just being nothing. Which, good on that. We did a big collection of the data and the information about the post and sent it over to Kickstarter, and we have yet to hear a thing from them, which is really weird. And I mean that we have, as said, from what Silver stated earlier, that there is conversations, there are emails, there are Facebook, there's Twitter gloats of just like, oh man, I'm about to put on the biggest thing. It's great. Like, I can't believe I'm getting away with this. And like, geez, dude, you're really...
Yeah. You have to pull off the scam before you can gloat. Come on, do it right.
Yeah, it's like you can't be walking into the bank going like, this heist is going to be so great, guys. So going to pull off this heist.
Yeah, you don't tweet before you even head to the bank like, "Hey, bank name, I'm coming for you." You don't say that. It's like that's what he did. Is he said, "Hey, bronies, I'm gonna get you. I want to scam you good." Yeah, and the hubris will be their undoing, right? Is if they were more subtle about it, the fandom would totally fall for something like this.
Now, the funny thing is that when, and this was the stopping of this, let me make sure I credit all the sources. 4chan did a lot on this for a lot of the digging and the finding information out. Like, they did a fantastic
doxing
job
of everyone involved.
Pretty much.
Doxing.
They found damn near everything on that. So, I mean, good on MLP. When they are organized to do great acts of investigation, they definitely come through on that. So, they did a fantastic job over at Horse News. Cappers put up a post that includes all the information over there, which I believe is horse-news.net. Travel with peril.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Not safe for work. Not safe for work. Not safe for work.
Yeah, but there is that site is full of information followed by I don't know what you would consider the other part except for occasional bouts of insanity. So
you have to have a good eye for what is snarky sarcasm and what is genuinely really good reporting.
Right.
On the website, you got to distinguish between the two, because some people tend to think everything on there is fake. This whole dark skies thing, 100% legit. They're pulling all of the journalistic steps involved. They've interviewed the people involved. They've asked a lot of questions. They've done a lot of digging and, produced this very full, comprehensive report on why you should avoid it. In fact, I think I can probably. Did you link to the actual post on Horse News?
I can. Give me 1 second. Also, Pony Toast is in the chat stating that did an interview with Pukey Pony on there. So let me. I'll pull that real fast. And
just keep coming.
Let's see. And the other. Let me think if. So yeah, the top post right there is Pukey Pony on the Dark Sky situation. Echoes. All right. Oh, there you go. And actually, Silver, whoever, if you could give the other post that is the details on the stuff for the thing, the information,
the pictures.
Yeah, sure. All the information that'd be a good go-to.
Pukey Pony.
The one thing that we made sure that when this all was kind of breaking to us is because this was a group that specifically wanted to. That was doing it for the lulz. There's a reason why there wasn't like a big EQD, like, hey guys, look out for this post, because that could have been what they wanted. Like, to get the fandom up in a big, like, shitstorm, more or less, excuse the yay, could have been very well what they wanted, so that way they could sit back and look at all these Twitter comments about them going insane, ha ha ha. They get, even if they don't get the money, they end up getting the satisfaction of getting everybody riled up. So it became it was smarter that it was something where the information was collected and that it was slowly destroyed over time, opposed to there being any sort of like massive
and then seeing them squirm, right, with all these videos they're putting together to try to get people to still believe in it and still contribute to it. It's they've paid a good price for the lulz at this point, which is good. That's the only way that you win against people who do stuff just for the lulz.
Yeah,
you just make it extremely hard on them to get the lulz.
Yeah, I'm sure at this point they're having a total of no fun over all this. You know, and they got caught. That's the thing, is that they had a crazy plan and they got caught, and they kind of are having to all deal with the fact that they are involved in this to some degree. So let's see, let me think if there's any other major pieces to this. I mean, if you, first off, and here's the thing, if you want a brony dating sim, guess what, kids, they're out there and they're free.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah, so there's no need to spend $7.5K on a dating sim that doesn't look good.
No.
There's plenty of them out there. I have to see. I see stuff pop up and I don't even know the rating of it, so I'm going to watch myself. But Star Swirl looks really good. Anybody know anything about that one?
I've heard a lot about it. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a thing, and they had to change all the characters' names, even though they're totally this is humanized Twilight, humanized Pinkie Pie, etc.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
Looks like your average weeaboo VN. But if that's your thing, cool.
It actually says on it's zap-apple.com, the Star Swirl Academy visual novel website. Boy, this thing is it's built. It's for Windows, OS X, Linux, Android. It's rolled out for all the platforms, and it's rated 14 and up. Mild language and emotional themes. So it appears that it's actually not all that explicit.
Yeah.
Well, it's your standard VN. It's not an ROG. It's not hentai game. It's just a standard.
Seems like a lot of good work went into it, though.
Yeah, it looks great.
Certainly, as XL Hedge mentioned, Star Swirl is a PG-13 game. No sex.
No sex.
Yeah, I kind of expected that.
And that's why we would, tell you this on here is, I thought it always looked really good. So I was like, oh, okay, there you go.
We're not going to talk about things like places that are banned from things.
Yeah, from places.
We don't mention that.
From other sites. Yeah.
So Yeah, Dark Skies is certainly maximum shenanigans.
If you have invested into it, go get your money back. If you have not, don't put your money in it.
Yep.
If you want to watch someone squirm as they try and make excuses, go see the updates.
And look at all those the 4chan. I put 3. I keep saying 4chan. The Horse News, which is effectively 4chan's newsy mouthpiece. The last link there, that backers beware dating sim, simply not worth the risk. That's the big one. Yeah, that's like the whole summary of everything that's wrong with it.
Now, just to get an idea real fast, because this one piece has been a little bit uncertain with me on this, is the question of, is there actually anything to it or not? Because there is so much like weird scuttlebutt going around about this isn't. Supposedly, like, the funny thing is they're like, this has been in development for 3 years. Did the backdating? You started development in season 1?
Yeah.
Like,
and then why do you need $7,500 now if you've spent 3 years worth of expenses? Did you just tell everybody involved in this, like, well, we'll pay you, 3 years from now?
Yeah, they say that they're 95% done. Like, that's the other strange thing.
They're volunteers. Mm-hmm. Great. They've already got it done. Great. Awesome.
And why do you need the money if it's 95% done?
Yeah, sell it as a finished product. If you're going to do that, like, sell the game, like, on your website if you really need that kind of money. But yeah, I don't know what they need the money for right now. It's all. I mean, I don't even want to try to rationalize it.
Yeah,
honestly.
Each time that there was the thing that there was at one point someone who was making a game, and then this got kind of bundled into it. But I think just because of how sketchy everything has happened, that if that is even true, then it very well could be just something that is the most minimum of minimum efforts. Don't tell you what. As said, there's other ones you can go look for. There's other ones you can try. You don't have to put money towards this. If you feel like you want to, I guess we can't stop you, but buyer beware. So, there you go.
I'm still confused. What are deep RPG elements in a dating sim?
Why would you have 200 weapons and 50 spells? That guy.
It just means you put on your robe and wizard hat. It's not actually.
Oh, he's going to cast level 3 eroticism.
Level 3.
Okay, and
so now it's role playing within your role playing. It's meta role playing.
They're saying that not only is it a dating sim, but then while you're not busy dating these people in this town, you're also saving the world from like this whole big crisis that's going on.
So it's kind of like a Stick of Truth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like Stick of Truth except terrible. And I don't know if you guys Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny from Philadelphia, or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia had this movie plot that they were talking about this whole time. It's like this guy who smells crime. He's out busting heads and then full penetration. Then he's out busting heads and then full penetration. Like the idea that they suggested, like that's the only thing movies haven't had in them. That's what they're saying this is. That's what they're saying Dark Skies is. It's like you go out and you're busting heads and you're solving crimes and you come back and full penetration.
It's weird. Let's see. And yeah, some of the other stuff. I'm looking at that same like deep RPG elements, and then like stuff like 100+ hours of gameplay for a $7,500 game. Timeless story. 50+ ponies, even though we've got screenshots of 4, 5, and they're all. And by the way, the images are also just recolors from the from Pukey Pony's OCs. Like it's all sorts of messed up. So buyer beware. There.
I think we have
exhausted that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on to fire number 2.
Yes, this one is a long and convoluted story that Silver will have input on as well, because this is something that it's convention politics, and it is pony politics as well. So Animation Celebration is the group formerly known as Brony Fest. They had a couple guests, about 500 people in Louisville, and about 8 months before Nightmare Nights, the first one, happened. The chairperson of that event has really hates gay people, really hates furries, and she really hates gay furries who run pony cons that are bigger than hers.
That means you, Sandy.
That means me.
It's like a trifecta.
And so these people have been taking pot shots at us for years, and it's kind of like these guys aren't worth our trouble. And it's been kind of quiet. There's been, people trying to stick us, and we don't really respond because, come on, kid, whatever. But in the last 24 hours, basically, in the last 48 hours, things have gotten really weird. So actually, I'm going to pause here and let Silver kind of fill in some background here about his interactions with this group.
Sure. So the convention, Bronyfest last year, it wasn't anything necessarily like overwhelmingly busy. It was a get-together, a good little event. I thought it went just fine. I had a good time while I was there. And granted, the other two chairs of this convention are, I think, legitimately just committed to just having a good meetup. They just wanted to have a good time. I never got the feeling from them that they hated furries or that they had this whole conspiracy thing. But it was really clear that their head chair hated furries back in Bronyfest. It was March of last year. It was Easter weekend. And it was really clear because the head of their vendor relations, the head of their vending hall was a furry. And this chair of the convention, midway through the convention, starts going around and spreading these rumors that this guy is not only a convicted sex offender, but that he's molesting people at the event. And so apparently the long and short backstory of all of this is that the agent who was responsible for bringing the talent to Bronyfest has a particular aversion to furries in the first place, kind of already doesn't like furries in the first place, sees this guy, decides he doesn't want anything to do with him, gets him booted out the door. As the vending rep, gets him completely shunned and everything else. It turns out from our own investigation, the guy's never been a convicted sex offender. That's all nonsense. It was the fact that they were spreading that was BS.
Legitimate slander.
Legitimate, slanderous, stuff going around. But that's just the beginning, and that's where we get the impression, at least from my end, that they really don't like furries and that they've got some beef. That they're trying to get out. Well, cut to a few months later, and we're hearing about Nightmare Nights ramping up. It's also in the Dallas area. It's going to be not a direct competition. It's 6 months apart from the other convention.
Actually,
8 months apart. Yeah, so it's not picking up the same audience. It's picking up a lot of the same people, but after 8 months, I'm going to go to another pony convention. There's nothing saying like I have to pick one or the other in a year. But the group gets really threatened by this other convention's presence, by Nightmare Night's presence. And so they start to sort of seed these rumors in various places, in local groups, local meetup groups around the area, in anime shops around the area, in, I start to hear it from so many different people, from these weird places, that the Bronyfest head is telling people that Nightmare Nights is a secret furry sex con.
Yes.
Yes. What it is. And I guess ostensibly the whole reason that they come up with this theory is because it's sponsored by DRAMA, the Dallas Regional Anthropomorphic Meeting Association. And this group also does Furry Fiesta.
Mm-hmm. Which just finished its 6th year with 1,900 people and $19,000 for charity.
Well, there you go. So this event, also not such a secret furry convention, but, an actual furry convention. They tie the two together as if they're inseparable, and they decide that Nightmare Nights is going to be this lewd, terrible, immoral event that you should not get anywhere near. and they don't really get any traction because pony media just doesn't buy into this at all. Nobody's believing this. A lot of us know Sandy, and those of us who even don't know Sandy know that the policies and procedures say it's a family-friendly convention, yada yada. But they take it to the bitter end. They go all the way up to the day of the convention, telling everybody they possibly can get a hold of that this is a secret furry sex convention, including chairs of other conventions in Texas. They even try to get them kicked out of A-Con. They try to get them kicked out of Brony Fanfare in Austin. They're going to extreme lengths, all just for the purpose of trying to slander and belittle and demean this other completely fair convention that's going on.
And I'm pretty sure that the episode after this last Brony Fanfare, I've unloaded with every barrel imaginable on those guys about my behavior, about the treatment towards me.
Yeah. No, the Brony Fanfare thing was, and you, well, was that Brony Fanfare that one of them actually said something?
Yeah, and you got up in that guy's face and you're terrifying.
Yeah, that was, yeah. Well, me throwing my weight around can always be pretty intimidating, but it was, yeah. There was one of the representatives for that convention was actually saying something at a party where Sandy was at, and he said something like furry con, furry sex con, undercover furry sex. Like he kept saying that to everybody else, and finally we just called him on it, and I just got up in his face and then just got so mad that I just stormed out of there. It was bad. Of course, Nightmare Night then goes on to be a substantially successful event, and to have, to my knowledge, at least from what we recorded, literally no secret furry sex anywhere involved in it.
If I can chip in as head of security, we had absolutely no reports of any activity like that going on. I was wandering the halls constantly. So no, there was nothing.
There's no reason why there would have been even. I mean, it was completely not even that kind of convention, Well,
yeah.
And the other thing, they started to spread this stuff because once the whole furry sex con thing petered out, they started to say that instead what you guys were doing was embezzling the charity money and not donating it to the charity. And they came up with just everything, just one after another. If that wouldn't stick, they'd say something else, and then they'd say something else. And they really went above and beyond and it's beyond me how they didn't get sued for it. Honestly, anyway,
it would cost too much money.
It would cost too much money just to tell them to not do that again. But yeah, no, apparently karma strikes back in time.
Karma does indeed. So this is the situation as it stands now. So turns out when you piss off the entirety of the pony media and then you switch your theme halfway through and don't tell the vendors, the words don't get out. They weren't getting any traction after all the stuff they threw my way. They're not getting any traction with Equestria Daily or PVL or DHN or Horse News or anyone else.
Certainly not us.
Certainly not us. And the only reason that I'm mentioning it now is that by the time this episode goes out, it's going to be probably the Wednesday before the event. So turns out that, yeah, cash flow is an issue. And suddenly, 30 days out comes up, whoops, they're in breach of contract. They're in breach of contract a lot. So we're talking, they had 15 guests, and they went down to 3.
Oh.
And now. They've lost Kelly Metzger, and they lost Sam Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
Which they were their 2 pony people. They are assuming they are losing Matt Hill, who was there last year, and they were selling things like pie with Soren. Yeah, I don't think he's going to show up. There was this thing with like the Red Power Ranger that he was going to have like a karate class you could take with the Red Power Ranger.
Oh man,
that's not going to happen. So basically, this con has caught fire in a massive, massive way, to the point that the agent who we figured was in charge had put himself at the head of the letterhead and was getting paid about $4,000 to be the chairman of this con by the first subordinate person we thought was the person in charge. And he was also functioning as the booking agent. And he was the agent to 9 of the guests that were booked. So he was triple dipping.
Yep.
And by the way, he's not a nice fellow either.
No, he's not. He's actually one of the people responsible for my treatment at Brony Fanfare.
Yep.
In Austin.
Big old fursecutor.
Oh, he's just an asshole. Now, the thing is, this guy's walked. He has bailed out. He didn't get his money, so he's decided, well, screw you. I'm going to pull all my guests, all of my affiliated people, and you can just go rotten hell. I haven't gotten my money from you, so you can just go die. And leave all this financial bullshit on the person who we thought was the con chair.
Yep.
How do you feel about this, Sandy?
I feel kind of bad because at this point, the now person actually in charge began reaching out in desperation. And a person who's involved in a Texas small conventions union stepped in to lend a hand, kind of sight unseen. She was told kind of the bare minimum of information and came in to help. And then she started trying to like, why haven't you marketed? Why are you not talking to these other cons? Why aren't you talking to Nightmare Nights? Why aren't you talking to Furry Fiesta? Why aren't you talking to Acon? Well, we were like, well, how about you call Bob? And Bob educated her. And this woman probably shat a few stacks of bricks. So the problem, though, is there's been minimal. This person has come in and has taken over the Facebook, the Twitter, and all the avenues of communication, and basically told the chairperson, "Shut your mouth and sit in the corner. Jesus Christ, you have screwed up." And we're in a situation where this convention is in a doomed state. If you've played Titanfall, you see the little bar, it goes down, and then your Titan explodes and maybe blows up people around you. We don't want that, because even though we've averted a LPU-style event in our own backyard, it's still going to be kind of a mess. Mm-hmm. So it's basically kind of behooving us as as convention people who have staff, because I'm assuming they've also been shedding staff now that this crisis has been breached and people are going, oh God, and don't want to get this goo on them, that it may actually end up that some of my people, myself, and some of the Fiesta people might step in to lend a hand, not to save the con, but to put it into the ground gently. Instead of letting it explode and get its goo everywhere, we put the pillow over the face and double tap.
Con hospice is what you want to think of it as.
Palliative care. Yeah, it's palliative care for...
It's the difference between a bunch of people arriving at the hotel and just seeing a frowny face opposed to there actually being a convention there. Mm-hmm. You know, I just came from God knows where to come to this convention. Where's the con?
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, people did come from a ways out for Brony Fest, and yeah, I mean, you're right. It's anything that goes down is taking you in some way with it, because it's taking down the reputation of conventions. Yeah,
because we're not doing this to help the chairwoman. We're not doing this to help their con. We're doing it for any help that we give is going to be to help the attendees. Because you're right, John Q. Pony Fan may have driven from Austin, may have driven from Abilene, may have driven from Oklahoma City. It doesn't matter. We don't want people that attend conventions to feel if this is their first event, we don't want them burned. We don't want them saying these cons are scams, never mind. Because, yeah, this isn't a pony con anymore. They had a whole bunch of different guests. They had a couple pony people, but not a bunch. But, you know, there's a lot of cons in DFW that are affected. There's Con DFW, there's FinCon, there's Fans Conference, there's A-Con, Anime Fest, obviously Fiesta, obviously Nightmare Nights. There's tons and tons and tons of events in DFW that even the tiniest bit of harm is still a little bit of harm, you know?
Yep.
It's more fun to bust out the marshmallows and watch from a distance, but it's not helpful to the overall convention scene.
Mm-hmm. And it's not helpful for the fans, you know, like you say, who paid in. That's one of the only reasons to go. I mean, there might be a few guests who are still going to show up, and they won't have been told about this. But I think that would primarily be community guests. But the big thing is, you've got people who want to come in, and there's still a possibility that no, you won't have this guest, this guest, this guest, this event. But there's something to do to spend these 2 or 3 nights that you have reserved at this hotel and this plane ticket or bus ticket or trip that you've already paid for to make it something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So functionally, it's probably going to be end up being a big meetup.
Yep.
And
even that's okay, though.
It's going to bury the convention. It's going to bury the reputation of this organizer. It's going to bury another event in Galveston, probably. It's going to bury that event. And so basically you're going to have this chain reaction because, yeah, this event's going down, but it's also going to be affecting stuff down in your neck of the woods, Silver, in a few months.
Yeah. Yep.
Hopefully it'll be less last second. So yeah, basically we have a miniature LPU style event going down in our own backyard. Now I will say, the woman who stepped in to help, she's a nerd of the old school. She's in her 40s. She's done this before. She does small events. She knows what she's doing. And I can work with someone like that. You know, Bob and I can work with someone like that. Now it's a matter of, you know, will this chairman of Animation Celebration swallow her pride enough to realize that these people are trying to help the community? Because, I mean, yeah, we could let her get lynched. It'd be ugly. There could be a Brony riot, and I'm saying that with quotation fingers because, you know, what are we going to do, write angry Tumblr posts and tweet about it?
Yes.
Yes.
Lots of that.
It's just a weird mess. So it's basically coming down to, it's like, what degree of help are we going to offer, and, you know, what degree will they accept? Because they need help, and if their pride gets in the way, then I guess that'll just be what happens.
So this has all happened in the last...
This has happened in the last 48 hours. And actually, the reason Bob called me was because he had just gotten off the phone with the person trying to mitigate the damage as much as possible, that the agent who pulled out and had the 9 guests had claimed that he's pulling everyone that he, quote, represents, and that he hadn't bothered to tell some of the people that were supposedly not coming.
Oh boy.
And,
oh God.
And these are community level people like photographers and whatnot. And it turns out that he was charging the con, this guy who's supposedly chairman, triple, quadruple dipping. And I think this goes to quadruple dipping now because he was getting money over their usual cost charge that would have been his cut for community level nonsense, photography and cosplay stuff. So quadruple dipping at this point. He hadn't bothered to tell them, and they found out that what was going down, and Jerry had the person hadn't talked about what's going down, and so they're like, all right, well, we'll show up for our regular cost, which is about half of what they were being charged. And so that at least will still happen. They will have some form of cosplay photography at the event. But it's just like, it's such a scumbag-filled mess. It's just,
Yeah, the whole thing just stinks. I mean, it stunk from the beginning, but I mean, the question, is it's such a weird position it puts you guys in, because the chairperson who's now in the pickle is the same one who was gleefully trying to run your convention's reputation into the mud.
Yeah.
Not so long ago, and this is, this is just desserts, right? This is what happens when you try to when you try to do your convention at the expense of literally everyone around you. But it's also a shame for the people who are innocent involved. The attendees, the guests, and all of that have nothing to do with all of this. And some of the people that this agent has signed are not like big time VAs who go on these big trips all the time, and this is nothing, and they'll just enjoy their trip in Dallas or whatever. No, like one of them's like a 14-year-old kid or something, and like these are people who would be greatly affected by having their schedule thrown out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a pickle. Now the question, and I don't know if you've heard anything back from them, but I would really have my doubts that they would even take your help.
Yeah, I mean, we've basically put forth conditions, basically saying this is, what needs to happen before we step in and offer any, like, staff level assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Will it happen? I don't know. We've made the offer. We've made the good faith effort to say, all right, I see that you're on fire. Would you like a help with that fire extinguisher?
Yeah, that was what I was kind of putting it close to, is the entire idea of like, that apartment complex is on fire, and it's going to completely take out that particular thing, as well as several other places right next to it. It's like, boy, that person sure did just pouring gasoline all over their apartment while screaming out the window at you, "You're all gonna burn! Look at all this gasoline I got!" Like, sure, yeah, look at all these matches. Okay.
AC has a way with metaphors. I just have to say.
Yeah. First, the whole pillow and double tap thing was
we've
already a crowd favorite.
We've been doing this for a while. Metaphors is our specialty. I just find it so crazy. It's just in the span of like 48 hours, it's been watching the blaze from a distance and going, that looks bad. That looks bad. To suddenly should we go in there? Should we like try and put it out?
There's kids in there, man.
There's kids and families and average nerds who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's all dependent on the person who owns the place deciding if they are crazy or uncrazy enough to actually unlock the door.
I mean, truth be told, as a Texan, I still want something to do in March. Or not in, when is it?
It's in March. It's
it is in March.
2 weeks away.
2 weeks away. Yeah, okay. So it's not on top of Easter again, is it? No.
Yeah, it is.
Serious?
Pretty sure it's Easter weekend.
It is Easter. No way it's on Easter weekend twice in a row. Google is like the least helpful thing.
April 20th is Easter.
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought it was March.
That's Babs. Babs is
jumped.
Easter.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Easter? Wow.
Yeah.
That's some timing.
Jesus is risen. 420 blaze it.
420 blaze it. Wow.
Which, by the way, is also our the anniversary of the show.
Yeah.
420? Really?
Yeah, it was not organized at all. We just went, let's do the show, and it just so happened to be on 420, and we'll be at BabsCon that weekend, so we can should probably do a show.
Is that going to be our third birthday, AC? Three?
I think so. We could probably count up 52 times. Yeah, that'd probably be like our second birthday.
That's gonna
a thing. I guess we should probably record
140 something. And we've done episodes of Phantom Unlimited in there too. So yeah, this gonna be 3 years, AC.
The ride never ends.
The ride has no end.
Sometimes the ride diverts and goes to other rides.
The tracks completely just go off the rails.
Sometimes the ride sets on fire and you have to jump out and put it out before the ride can continue.
Well, if you guys do wind up helping out with that convention, we want to be there with our cameras.
Just documentary the death of a con.
Just to see. I mean, that's how we started. We got our start. We were born from fire. The first convention we ever covered was Las Pegasus, so yeah.
We will definitely keep you guys in the loop.
It would be a fantastic documentary, the death of a con.
Speaking of documentaries,
can we get the con head to say Rosebud?
I don't know. Depending on how things are going with that, would that be before or after the stake has been set in the square?
We call it Citizen Con.
So, all right. Well, that is a lot to do about a lot. So, guess what? March is the new February. I'm sure we'll keep you informed as stuff happens with those. Dark Skies, just let it go. And then Animation Celebration, a.k.a. whatever BronyCon that is, because I keep losing track because there's like 4. That one is going to be... that's going to be an ongoing thing. All right, we've got tons of news listed here, so let's go ahead and do this. Someone's putting in a fire status for us. I would call it a rogue star status at this point. Just a blazing ball of infinite heat soaring through space, ready to collide with anything and everything it meets.
I'm just going to put colony drop. It'll leave a massive crater in Australia. But it's okay. They're all criminals there.
I do have to say, listening to the Giant Bombcast recently has been hilarious in just the Australian smack talk of just like, it's okay to wear thongs in Sydney, and then Melbourne shows up and be like, you're a madman. Like, they call flip-flops thongs. So I was like, yeah, you can wear thongs in professional situations in Sydney. It's fine. And just Melbourne's going, you guys are crazy. You're out of your minds.
It's like, you would live in the Los Angeles of Australia, wouldn't you?
Then New Zealand's starting to smack talk them back. It's starting to get ugly on that show. It's great. Anyway, colony drop. All right, news time. We got tons.
All right, so we actually have actual news, lots of little bits here and there. So Michael Moronis is now awake. This was posted, when was it posted? March 7th, so about last week. Mm-hmm. He's certainly, he has some muscle problems, but he can see and understand commands. So he is a lot better than they thought. Because they were kind of like, yeah, he's going to be a blind paraplegic. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Apparently not so much. Yay for neuroplasticity. So that kid's surviving as it is. Hopefully he will continue to get better because, hey, guess what? If you're a kid, you can really recover from these kinds of things. So congrats to him. This is another weird one. This is something I've not paid a lot of attention to because this week has been nothing but convention business for me. So a boy got bullied for his MLP backpack. You guys, anybody have a blurb on this?
Well, he got bullied for his MLP backpack, and then didn't they send him home?
It's not that they sent him home. They want him to stop wearing it. And this gets a lot of people riled up because they're like, this kid did nothing wrong. It's the people who are picking on him who should get punished. And that's how a lot of people see it, but that's not really how school administrators look at this stuff. And that's where the issue's coming in, is people's different perceptions of of it. So yeah, there's been a big outcry about that, but it's...
So I guess the perception is he's inciting this behavior, and so he needs to...
Not necessarily. It's that when a school administrator looks at this kind of situation, and it's happened with other things. There's been a case out in California where and it went to a court case where on Cinco de Mayo, some kids wore American flag T-shirts, and they were told to remove them or turn them inside out because a bunch of Hispanic descent were getting angry about it, and a fight broke out. And basically, the way the school administrators look at it is this: school is not a democracy. The purpose of school is for kids to learn. So to a degree, their First Amendment rights are limited in that you can't stand up in the middle of a class and just start talking about political stuff. You are there for a purpose. And so school administrators do have the right to restrict how you express yourself if it is interfering with that purpose of education. And that is the rationale for asking this kid to not bring the backpack. And I think in a lot of these cases, there's also an element of, let's make the problem go away as quick as possible. What's easier, to get a bunch of kids to stop picking on someone, or to make one kid stop doing one thing that others might pick on him for? It really is the easiest out for them, but at the same time, they do have a rationale for doing it that is legally and administratively supported.
It isn't so much whether they're breaking the law, really. I mean, and I don't think people are saying, like, well, this kid's got First Amendment rights or anything, because no, kids lose those at the door of schools. It's been a long-standing, generally accepted knowledge that kids are considered effectively, the school is taking custodial control over them. During the time they're at school, they have essentially parental control over them. Like it's their duty to care for them. That there's no real actionable ground from a legal perspective. It's just the message it's sending, especially right on the heels of all of this bullying and everything else, that we're hearing in the community. The message that it's saying is, as long as you don't ruffle any feathers, you'll be fine. As long as you don't raise the attention of anybody else, that solves your problem. And this is a community that's been told to be yourself and not be afraid to be yourself, to express who you are. And if people don't like it, it's their problem. And, it's completely 180 degrees counter to all of what we're told about pride, about our community. A lot of us are in the GLBT community. We're also told the same thing, which is the only people who ever tell you just shut up and don't make a big deal are the people who are promoting the status quo that is hurting you. And that they want you to just stay out of their way so that they don't have to be aware of your existence. They don't have to be challenged and face the cognitive dissonance of realizing that you're a nice person, but you're something they're supposed to hate. And all of that. There's so much that goes into that.
Right. There's also a more insidious lesson here for people who are interested in controlling others. And that is that if you threaten violence, you can make people stop doing what you don't like.
Yep. And you'll have the
that's
support.
That's where I really oppose this stuff, is you're essentially giving power to the people who are threatening violence, whether it be, I don't like the fact that you've got that flag on your shirt, or I don't like the fact that you've got a backpack for little girls on your back, or whatever. Mm-hmm. We should not give in. And my personal feeling, I don't have to run a school. My feeling is we shouldn't give in to that we're teaching the wrong lesson. We're teaching the people that we want to win, the nice people, we're teaching them, don't rock the boat. And at the same time, we're teaching the people that we don't want to win, the ones who are willing to use violence, that, hey, threatening violence works. They're going to take that lesson, they're going to learn it, and they're going to continue applying it later in life. And unfortunately, some of them at some point may go from threatening to actually using violence.
Yep. Well, because that's the means to accomplishing an end. It's been reinforced by a lot of things. It's just that all you have to do is just make somebody think you're going to do something bad to them, and you have control. Now, in a school situation, the school should never be empowering that kind of behavior. It should stop with the administrators, right? A school and schools play, kids at school play by their own rules while they're hanging out with each other. And so that's a whole different thing. Schools can't be sitting there watching 100% of the time. But once you ask beautiful quote from A Missing Pony there. Yeah, the one thing that's required for evil to win is for good people to do nothing.
Yep.
And
Excellent
that's
quote.
what it is. It's complacency. It's not even so much that the school administrators are evil. They're just complicit in bad things, which means the bad things will continue. So, yeah, that's it's people in this community, I think, are rightfully concerned about the precedent that sets, and I hope it doesn't. Yeah, because this is our youth as an adult, and I'm probably getting okay. Yeah. So.
Let's see. We need to make up a little bit of time, so we still got the episode. Let's see. Sir Ian McClellan doing the Broadway and Michael Marone's Foundation for Anti-Bullying. That's out there. I guess the other strange kind of big weird thing is a Bob's Burgers shout out.
Yes, they're doing an episode called The Equestrianauts.
And it actually uses the term bronies as well. So,
in an homage to the brony subculture, Tina attends her first EquestriCon, a convention based on her favorite animated pony show, the Equestranauts. To her surprise, she finds out the show's fan base are middle-aged men called Equestricals. When a powerful superfan tricks Tina out of her rare pony toy, it's up to Bob to go undercover and get it back. So, who's going to be screaming that, oh my god, this is totally based on insert fandom villain here?
Well,
I'm going to get through it by imagining that Bob is actually Archer. That's the way to do it.
Well, you
Secret
remember
agent?
season 4 of Archer starts off with that, with the Bob's Burger homage.
Only if
That's
I hear
right,
it.
yeah.
Lada!
I thought that was great.
Lada!
We're going to take a highway right into the danger zone. Oh, my God.
So see, the Equestranauts is going to air on April 13th. So it's coming.
Let's see.
That's a week before BabsCon.
Poke through these. Lauren Faust Kickstarter, I assume, for the new fighting gamey thing that they are planning. Is that still called Main 6 or what's their Fighting is Magic? However, let's see. We've already talked about BabsCon. They got a billion things going on. Legends of Equestria there. Behind the voice actor voting is up, so we all can, as usual, make sure that they win
voting
again. 3D Pony Creator, Fallout Equestria game. Okay. Friends Forever issue 3. Wow, we haven't reviewed the comics in a really long time.
I've picked it up. I haven't had a chance to read it.
Yeah, we're terrible.
Well, actually, it's sitting here on my
That sounds terrible.
It's still in the comic shop
that's
bag
horrible.
that I got
You
them in. I haven't had a chance to
You
look
can
at them.
stop that at any point.
Sorry.
The cats that are listening to this podcast are having a field day.
Let's see. We missed it, but Volume 1 was up on Comixology the past week. Equestria Girls 3 listed on Amazon. It's a book, don't worry.
It's going to be an animated thing. You know it.
We probably. Happy Meal toys. 4DE Fluttershy plushies, supposedly. We already talked about the future Twilight. Yeah, all this stuff is on our show notes. You can see that at BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com. Hey, guess what? The CCG, Celestia and Luna decks.
Luna theme decks. So Celestia is kindness. So if you can't find that dang Fluttershy Pinkie Pie 2-pack, you can get that. At least play a kindness deck with Celestia. And Luna is magic. So you can use all of your Twilight cards with Luna.
Every Lady Justice. Play every Lady Justice.
And you can toss that dang card into every deck. It has no prerequisites. It is such a broken card.
It's so strong. It's so terrible. Guess what? Your kit players now bite. They're not good anymore. The rules have released, and Season 3, I guess, has been announced for the summer, so it keeps continuing to roll along.
Yep. Now, let's just hope they don't have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Style power creep, where, oh, sorry, your old cards are crap. You gotta get these new ones.
No, the new Lady Justice has a -2 to all of your opponents.
But they'll probably have a prerequisite.
Yeah, a power.
And then we get the rules lawyers. They're like, oh my god, that card is banned.
Have they made an online version of the card game yet, like Hearthstone?
There's a way.
There's a way. It's not
Certainly not perfect.
or supported.
Or supported. Yeah.
Or legal.
I mean, because there's like Cards Against Humanity online, right? You know, and
That's the best worst thing ever.
yeah.
Yeah, we covered it a little bit last show with the Omig thing that you can use. Optogen. Yep, that's right. It's all right. At least when we tested it, it has everything and it works fine, but it can break in strange ways. So, but it is a way to do it, at least to get your feet wet and try out some stuff. So, but I still have purchased way too many cards as is, and I think the game is fine. I may be selling some of the cards or some packs at BabsCon if anybody wants any. I'll probably pre-make some and just be like, here, I have extra cards. I'm not doing anything with them, so if you want, we'll figure something out. I'll keep the cool things there in case all the cool things that are there, go ahead and drop them down to the bottom into the cool things area, and we'll discuss them there because we need to do episodes.
Yep, we got 2 episodes to talk about.
Some Pony to Watch Over Me and Maud Pie. So, Maud Pie, delicious.
I like Maud Pie.
Do you?
Pretty good episode.
I still haven't seen that episode.
I like rocks.
Silver.
What?
You should see the episode.
I know before I get on a podcast to talk about it. This episode, I found it so good and or bad.
This episode rocks.
It was really solid. I'm not bluffing.
Like
it was a metamorphic
really
experience.
Like sedimentary rock.
Sedimentary rock.
Metamorphic rock. That's hot.
Igni.
All right, we're going to dispense with
Yes.
the Maud Pie rock puns for the moment because we're going to talk about Some Pony to Watch Over Me,
True.
a.k.a. Applejack's biological clock is ticking.
All right, well, let me go ahead and pull this up. So, I believe that we had a brand new writer for this one, by the way, Scott Sonberg. Or Sonborn.
For both these episodes,
you're right.
Add new writers.
All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up while it goes slowly. Some Pony to Watch Over Me, season number 4, season episode number 17, overall episode number 82, original air date on March 8, 2014. Scott Sonborn being the writer, storyboarded by Nicole Wang and Steve Sanderson, and featuring Apple Bloom and a bunch of Applejack as well. Guess who gets to stay at the farm all by herself and do all the chores? It's Apple Bloom until AJ kind of can't separate herself from caring about her little sister and smothers her. Not with a pillow, just with attention. I went a little dark there.
I thought the episode was pretty good. And pretty silly. Applejack kind of got the idiot hat. It wasn't nearly as bad as like Spike Extra Service or anything like that. But it was kind of like, okay, AJ, your daughter, your daughter. Oh,
kind of
headcanon. Oh man, no,
What?
your little sister.
Oh my god, this is like Kill Pony here. This is like, what?
Oh God, Applejack is Dragio. Oh, that is that's implied implications. We're not going to talk about that.
Implications.
The episode is basically Applejack's biological clock is ticking. Holy crap, she needs to treat her little sister like she is an idiot and a brand new baby foal. Like, I don't think the Cake twins have this much oversight in their daily life level nonsense. AJ cannot deal with Apple Bloom growing up at all.
She handles it extremely poorly.
Starry's giant finger is crushing apple cider. And it basically boils down to the CMC help. Well, the other two CMC help Apple Bloom escape, and be like, well, I'm a big pony. I'm going to go and get stuck in the never-ending story. No. It wasn't Raiders 20. It was Princess Bride.
Princess
yeah.
Bride.
And a giant Princess Bride reference. I'm kind of sad there wasn't any large rats.
Yeah, no
present in the
rose.
scene.
Rodents
No
of
roost.
unusual size.
But yeah, I liked it enough. I thought it was pretty funny. I like the fact that they added a new monster, a proper chimera that was tiger instead of the usual lion, so it was even a little bit different. We can now we can continue to believe that the entirety of the D&D monster manual exists in Equestria at some point. They have crazy things like the fire swamps and stuff like that. And in the end, it was really AJ delivering a bunch of pies to some of Spaz's people, the Bayou ponies.
Some of Spaz's people.
Spaz
That
being
one got a little. That one got a little. What was the phrase? Uncle Tom. Like
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Yeah, it was.
No, I mean they're all.
Well, I do say. I've never had a pie like this before.
I thought they were Acadian. I didn't think there was an Uncle Tom's Cabin type reference
I
in
don't
there.
think it was like that.
They were just Acadians. They were swamp people. That's for sure.
Sure, swamp people. Swamp Thing just sneaks in the background. Don't mind me.
Don't mind me. Want some pie?
I want some pie.
I thought so. As I kind of alluded earlier in the show, I'm kind of at this weird point with. So this is a little bit better. I think the episode was fine. I thought it was interesting. I do agree that Applejack lost her brain, and eventually at the end she kind of went, "Huh, you know what? Okay, I was wrong. You're right. You're better at this because you were able to do all this. I still had to come in and help you because I have experience in some of these things, but you still accomplished a heck of a lot for, who you are and the limited experience you have." I think over time, I'm starting to. We always made the excuse over and over that AJ lacked a character, and I've actually in this season had a big shift in this because AJ doesn't lack a character. AJ is now Twilight from season 1. Like, she's a little snarky, she's sarcastic, she's down to earth, she's, serious but still fun. Like, she is that character from season 1, except just a little bit different. Twilight, on the other hand, based off of the episodes and everything, has just turned into Celestia or a princess. She's just kind of turned into this, "Oh, hey, how are you? I'm the princess of books." And I'm just like, ugh.
I'm the princess of books. I study things.
Yeah, it's
AC, is this what you alluded to earlier?
This is what I'm alluding to. I'm finding Applejack far more interesting than Twilight.
Join the club. Join us.
And why is it? And I spent some time. It's like, why is it Applejack opposed to my second favorite, Pinkie Pie? And it simply is because I do like the character who is the more down to earth, the one that is sitting counter to all the other ones, where they're going, "Oh, how crazy! Look how crazy we are!" And there's the one sitting there and being like, "All right, guys, cool down. Let's look this through." My favorite character in Littlest Pet Shop is Russell, who is that exact same, like, "Okay, guys, let's plan this through." And Applejack did so many of the things. Here's the list of stuff that you have to do while on the farm. I'm over fretting. You could see this exact same episode with Spike in season 1. If you had made it Twilight and Spike in season 1, and Twilight is freaking out because she's leaving Spike all alone for a day, like, it could be the exact same plot. It's just now Applejack and Applebloom.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you skipped right past Pinkie Pie because season 4 has made her into a nuisance.
I like her.
No, I think she's been better in 4 than she was in 3. They went way over the top in 3, and in a lot of the episodes this season, they pulled it back to where she doesn't feel like a parody of herself, and she feels more like a real character.
I don't know that I think that's universal in season 4. I think season 4 has had her be a parody of herself to an extreme that it would throw introverts off because they know somebody who always tries to keep like, and this is the beginning of that Fluttershy episode is everybody, and even if this is supposed to be a joke, you know, I've had it happen too many times in real life that somebody has gone way into my insecurities and they've hit way too close to home and they don't realize that they're doing it and they do it like 4 or 5 more times and they don't realize that they're just drilling right into that one part that just really gets on your nerves and hits your anxiety. Like, and they just keep doing it. It's
God, I'm sorry, Silver. I told you, I'm sorry.
Silver, I fully agree on that particular episode. I really do. But if you look at ones like Pinky Apple Pie, they did kind of dial her back, and you saw a more rounded, better character rather than just that one narrow aspect. And so that's what I'm saying is that in a lot of episodes, they've dialed it back. But you're right. In a few cases, it's gone full bore again.
See, and that's the reason why I couldn't go, even though technically if I have to put it like this, and this is so sad because I think it's the way that Twilight has just been made. I don't want to say neutered because that's such a weird term to say, but she's just such she's just such a non-character right now.
Yeah.
That she's motherly. She's like that boring teacher you had in 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah, it's literally right now. She completely dropped down to 3rd, where it's like Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and then Twilight. Just I'm waiting for her to actually do something that interests me, opposed to just being there, and that's really, really. It's so odd, and then just Applejack just coming in and then suddenly being like, "Hey, remember me? I'm the one that lacked a personality for a really long time, and now I'm exactly the character that you used to like a while back." And I'm like, "Huh, that's weird." Okay.
Now, I did like the Some Pony to Watch Over Me. I thought it was a fun episode. And that's what I'm liking more of the season is episodes where they don't really deal with the big overarching world changing stuff, but ones where you just kind of get a fun look into things that have slice of life, where things happen to ponies and it's a little weird, sure, but it just lets you watch a couple of ponies or a bunch of ponies interact and lets the staff play around and put in some really goofy, really funny stuff without it being heavy in the end.
Yeah, it managed to just be kind of a silly episode. I can't think of anything else to really say about it. It was, it was just a pretty good episode. Anything that was just like, oh, that's great. AJ and crazy fire gear was kind of interesting.
Yeah. But there was some decent character progression too. I mean, we see a little bit of growth for Apple Bloom, but I like how they pulled it back at the end, and it wasn't like a complete, she's an adult now, she can do everything on her own. It's, well, you did good, but you still haven't grown up completely. So a nice middle of the road ending to it, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still am kind of curious to figure out where all this is going to end up going, if we are going to have the the season end is looking towards it's going to be the whole rainbow power, and what does that entirely mean? And then you've got EQD Equestria Girls 2, and then that goes off into who knows where.
Then Flash comes back.
Oh, savior of the universe.
Flash was back.
Guess who's back?
I mean, as a full character. Once we're out of season 4, you got to read these like a lawyer.
You're the new main 6 character.
Replaces Twilight. She goes to work at the castle. Flash shows up. Hey guys, what's going on?
Do I
gotta wear this crown? Really?
So, Some Pony to Watch Over Me. Let's jump into Maud Pie. Hey guys, Maud Pie, season 4, season episode 18, overall episode 83. Original air date March 15th, 2014. Written by Noel Venturini. Storyboarded Mike Marr and Mike West. Featuring Maud Pie and Rocks.
Rocks are pretty cool.
Sandy, what'd you think of Maud Pie?
I actually really enjoyed the episode.
Did
I
you?
thought it was really good.
You're liking a Pinky episode, you understand.
I don't think it was a Pinky episode.
Oh.
It was a Maud Pie episode.
Really?
Yes. So, yeah, I actually really enjoyed the episode. And I also really enjoyed, the cheese sandwich episode, the Weird Al episode. And that was a Pinky episode. I can like Pink Horse episodes.
That was kind of like a Rainbow Dash episode, really.
Yeah.
It had a blow-up, bouncy Rainbow Dash castle.
Yep. Coming soon to BabsCon.
Oh, if only.
We've been looking at them.
Yeah. Dang thing about that invent insurance didn't usually cover it. So I really liked it. Pinky basically is like telling all the main six that, oh yeah, she's just like each of you in her own way. And when she shows up, she's not. She's a very low-key, introverted character. She doesn't get really excitable and doesn't emote a lot. And this is obviously a weird thing for the main six because they're all very active characters. They emote. They express emotions. And Maud just doesn't. And it really confuses the heck out of the main six.
And Pinky just kind of accepts it as how, like, oh yeah, this is just my sister. This is my sister.
I love her, and you know, I want her to be friends with my friends. That's totally reasonable. But the main six all kind of have this thing where it's like, yeah, she doesn't like cider. She's like, it tastes like apples.
Her fashion sense is horrific.
She has a pet, Rock. His name's Boulder. And
the worst of all, she doesn't like to win.
And she does her own poetry. It's about rocks. So
in Twilight, just standing there having to listen to rock poetry and just going like, "Oh God, oh
what
God.
did I get into?"
Oh no.
So it kind of boils down to, the main six are like, "Look, we tried, but she's just not clicking, and this happens sometimes." And Maud's like, "I understand. I'm gonna go back home."
Oh.
And Pinky goes with her. And, it actually has a bit of a little emotional moment between the two where Pinky's hugged up against Maud because she feels really sad that her friends aren't friends with Maud. And then, Pinky pulls out this harebrained scheme. Or maybe it was the other way around. Basically, this harebrained scheme where Pinky was going to combine all of their interests into one big Wipeout-style obstacle course. And Pinky gets stuck. She decided to build a giant pile of rocks and gets her hoof stuck. And instead of being Earth Pony strong, she's just freaking out. And Maud comes in and uses her hooves of the North Star to demolish a rock into pebbles and save her sister, showing that she does have the spark of life. She's just slow moving, but she'll protect her family. And in the end, she's like, I don't like candy, but I love my sister.
Yeah, because the big arc of the entire thing was like, we need to make rock candy necklaces because we have this special...
That's what friends do.
Yeah, and they have this special rock candy recipe, which the secret recipe is rocks. Because rocks. And if you are not a fan of rocks, you probably will not like this episode. Just a warning. If you are against Earth or rocks, anything along the lines of a sedimentary or a igneous, you are probably not going to have a good time.
Are there rock puns?
Are there? Are there?
Rainbow Dash makes a rock pun.
What?
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Rainbow Dash makes a rock pun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rainbow
She's,
rocks.
She's a something wrapped in a something wrapped in an igneous.
And it's like,
Well,
don't you mean
an enigma?
She's
No.
like, no, I was making a pun.
This
That's
was a
exactly
good
as awkward as you would
episode,
expect a Rainbow Dash joke to be.
But I can't say that I particularly liked it because it reminded me very heavily of Daria, and I was just never a fan
Love
of Daria.
Daria.
It's the kind of humor that just it's uncomfortable humor where everyone's trying hard and there's that uncomfortableness. So while I think the episode was well done, I can't say I really liked it, but it was a good episode.
Well, but
Weird.
But Maud was more just not expressive, whereas Daria is expressive. She's just being snarky the whole time. Like, and granted, I love Daria. I love that show just because it very much is just the everybody doing somewhat normal, if not stupid things, and her just pointing out all the stupid that they're doing. But yeah, the Maud was much more just kind of like, I'm not really big on that. I'm big into rocks. And them
That's true.
so.
I did like the ending, though. I really liked how she ended it.
It's a cute ending.
Yeah.
And her and Gummy go really well together. Just Gummy pretty much just sitting on her back the whole time, and both of them just having this dead expression. And then just the way it counteracts, because you have this such Pinky just being this mega high energy character next to her sister, which is just this stoic stone of a creature. You know, just kind of like, oh, that's great. You know, it was just it was a good odd couple, so I enjoyed
He was
it.
definitely the outside weird kid of the family.
Absolutely. So of the two, I think I did enjoy Maud a little bit more, just because it was such a departure. But you know, as said, I've moved over to the shrine of the Apple Pony now. We will see. We will see if this is something that is temporary, or if it is much like if it's much like Sandy's betrayal, how it remains. I am making apple cider, so you know, maybe there is some honesty to it.
I am looking forward to trying some of said apple cider.
I bottled some up. It's in its last conditioning phase, so I just got to finish that bit and see how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move forward. We didn't have any emails this week, but I've been slow putting out episodes, so that's understandable. You can always email across to us at email is bronyville@gmail.com. 5-star iTunes Bronies. We are at 830 ratings, so thank you. And we're 5th in what's hot in TV and film for pony stuff. Check it. All right.
That was when I checked earlier.
Oh, well, hey, checked
We're right
earlier.
behind Adam Savage.
Oh, that jerk.
That tested.
That thing. All right. Well, go ahead.
And film spotting. Ooh.
So, one cool thing time. It's time for us to leave you with one little itty bitty thing you should do. I may have actually done this one before, but we got plenty of fandom of cool things that have been submitted in. Someone listed this again, and I just forgot if we had done it, but no touching. No touching at all. They are tiny little
yes.
itty bitty versions of so many of these characters, and don't you dare touch them. Do not use that giant finger to touch them, or they will squeal. And
Lyra doesn't mind it.
Lyra loves it. Lyra loves getting put. I like the one where you poke Princess Cadence, and she tells you to wait till Shining Armor gets here. Then you click later, and there's Shining Armor. So what? I'm busy. So, some of the other strange ones where
Celestia is, I'm a princess. Are you a princess too?
from the doll, right?
Yeah, and Flufflepuff is in there. Maniac.
if you poke Lyra, she says, "Oh great, now I'll never hear the end of it from Lyra."
Yeah, Bon, I mean.
Oh geez, don't do the Inky Pie. That just made a whole bunch of noise. Didn't know that would actually do a rock ballad. But yeah,
and of course, there's the Spitfire one. 36 ponies and one flash app? That's an Academy record. Yeah.
If you do Big Mac, nothing happens. If you do Discord, it's upside down. So it's cute. It's silly. There's also a Flufflepuff.
Yep. And she just looks happy.
If you keep poking her, then a chrysalis comes out. So go check that out. That's Do Not Touch, or touch all you want. That's fine. All right, Sandy, what do you got?
My cool thing is, hey, Nightmare Nights Dallas now has a Facebook page. We didn't have a Facebook page last year. We're fixing that. We have our new dates, October 24th, 26th, 2014. Save the date. We'll be having our first, well, by the time this episode comes out, we probably should have our first, second, third, fourth, possibly fifth or sixth guest lined up. Now that we have dates, we can get contracts out for things we've already lined up a month ago. Yeah. So expect hype soon.
So hype. So much.
Very hype. Wow.
You were already alluding to things and people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it took us a while to get dates for the hotel doesn't mean we haven't been talking to people since, well, just after the last con.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's good. Let's go with, besides my butt, which obviously it seems like Silver is just fascinated with for some reason.
You say it like that. You know, I'm beginning to wonder if this podcast isn't a secret furry sex podcast.
Well, we do have that secret image on our webpage.
Oh yeah, the one. Yeah,
yeah, the one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's the picture of it's up at the top. It's a picture of me all like, so secret. So wow. All
right. So my cool thing, and I know I didn't get it in the document, but there's a cool thing, and it's a shameless self-promotion.
Yay!
Shameless self-promotion because Bronyville, the podcast, is now being aired on Ponyville FM, Ponyville Live's electronic music station, and also your home for both Bronyville and Brony Time with Alpha and Five Iron. You're in So,
is that live or still just a podcast?
It's syndicated. Yeah, it's like we pick it up. Yeah, like along with like when it goes out as a edited podcast, like and all that. But yeah, we'll be airing that on Ponyville FM. You can check the schedule. Just look at their website, ponyvillefm.com. And yes, and this is surprisingly, I did not realize that we hadn't tied up that loose end already. But this is the first time Bronyville has been on air on PVL. On a PVL station this whole
it's
time.
Like I thought we'd already just like, yeah, sure, you can do that, and then nothing ever happened with it.
And that got you on our homepage, you know, and you've been on our homepage for a while, and our little Twitter bot tweets whenever there's a new Bronyville episode, but we weren't actually on a radio station yet. So yeah, now you're on a radio station.
So I'm on Equestrian Radio. Whoa,
Equestrian Radio.
Yeah.
What?
No, that song. I'm on Equestrian Radio or Mexican Radio.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're happy. Do your thing. What's your thing? Take us away, please. Quickly.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, just it's a little duel my wife did after making fun of some of the cartoons or the commercials that have been on the pony episodes this week. So we were joking about how funny it would be if one of the kids opened up those little hideaway pets and it was Cthulhu, and he reached out and kind of slathered his tentacles all over their face. So that's what comes out when I start talking about stuff like that with my wife.
Yeah, don't use an illithid pillow, kids. While you sleep, it eats your thoughts. No, really, it is. Let's see. I'll have to see. All right. And then cool things we've got here. Canterlot. It's only a dessert. Let's see what this is. Is this See, giant canterlot made out of various desserts. She Keeps Evolving, which is season 4 in a nutshell. Abridged My Little Pony Brony edition. How to Be a Brony Musician. Celestia and Twilight are cute. That's it. And a DerpCon South neat animation. All those are listed as in the One Cool Thing over at the doc over at BronyShow.com and BronyvillePodcast.com. That's it. That's going to be the show.
It's over.
It is.
Yay.
We can
You're
stop.
all free now.
We can stop. As always, well, let me go ahead and first thank over to Silver.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Coming on. Thank you for putting us on your radio station finally.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's great. We'll see you in just a few weeks over at BadsCon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks over to Feather for jumping in once again. Constant
Hey,
contributor.
thanks for having me on. Always fun.
Hey, good to have you. Sandy, you're a Thunder. You make it.
Yep.
And thanks to all of the fans out there, be it if you're over on Justin TV or if you're catching this via podcast or however you do it. We love it, each and every one of you. So thank you. Make sure that you do all the goodness that you keep doing and just keep doing it, I guess. Sure. BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com is the website. Bronyville@gmail.com is the email address. Next week, an FU episode, then we're going to go back to Pony. So I don't know if we figured out what we want to do or what kind of stuff. Which, by the way, we do have a FU that's going to be happening, I believe, let's see. I believe it's the 5th. We're going to have Peter New on.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk to him, and we're not gonna just focus on Pony. We're gonna talk about everything. We want to know what he's done, what fun stuff he's been doing, as well as what kind of other stuff he really enjoys. So, we're going to play with that and figure out everything that he really likes, and just get more of a general idea. So, any questions you have, make sure you join us on the 5th, and we'll have Peter New on, and we'll have a great time, just being losers with Peter New. So.
Yeah.
Really selling it for you. All right. You can join us roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific at justin.tv/Bronyville Podcast. iTunes reviews. We love them. Please keep them coming. And as said, all your reviews keep us up there in the What's Hot area of iTunes. You can listen to the show on Celestia Radio every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC. And when are we airing on the Ponyville FM thing?
That is on the Ponyville FM schedule page, and I need to probably check that. So I can tell you when.
Sure.
You're airing.
Let me just do this. My Twitter account is at Bronyville.
Mine's at Chef Sandy.
Meetup groups. I am part of the Bronies of Northern California.
Mine's Bronies North Texas.
And conventions. A whole mess of us are going to be at BabsCon.
Oh my God, so many people.
Bronyville Podcast airs on Ponyville FM Tuesday evenings at 5 p.m. Eastern.
All right. So if you don't want to catch the 6 p.m., if you want a little earlier than Celestia Radio, you can go over there. That works too. There you go. All right. That takes care of us for over here at the place where we talk about the horse, and we're going to be done. And Starry is pulling out the vacuum, so prepare for vacuum noises, everyone. Till then, we're going to go ahead and call it off. We'll catch you next week for an FU, and then the week after, we're going to go do we'll do another pony thing.
Yep. That's how it goes now.
All right. We're going to be out. Sleep well, every pony.
Adios.
Adios.
Later.
Yep. Yeah, speaking of the FU episode, I actually am uploading